Britain should drastically cut its carbon emissions over the next 30 years and lead the global fight against climate change. That's the view of the government's independent advisers, who say the UK should cut greenhouse emissions to virtually zero by 2050. Scotland's target is 5 years sooner. That's because of the country's potential to plant more trees. But Wales has 5 years longer because of its reliance on agriculture. Northern Ireland doesn't have a specific target because of the lack of government in Stormont. Today's report says we must all do our bit, turn down the heating, eat less meat, take fewer flights and switch to electric cars. Here's our science editor, David Shukman.
A heavy swell in the North Sea as we travel to a new wind farm. Every swish of the blades generates zero carbon power. Until recently, this was one of the most expensive sources of energy. But breakthroughs in technology have dramatically lowered the costs. So in their report, the government advisers say a 7-fold increase in offshore wind should be possible. This is a good day in the North Sea. Imagine what it's like building and maintaining wind turbines out here in all weathers. But the country is getting more and more of its electricity this way. And the report says we need to install thousands more turbines if we're going to take climate change seriously. But that will be a huge challenge. It was Britain with the Industrial Revolution that first started pumping out the gases that have been raising temperatures. Now the report says Britain could lead the way to a cleaner future and help limit global warming.
We're responsible for a great deal of the warming that the world is now seeing, the climate change that we're now seeing. But more than that, we also consume a lot. And those two factors especially mean that the UK really needs to go further and faster earlier.
The advice is that we'll keep driving cars, but they should be electric by 2030. Eating red meat is okay, but ideally 20% less of it. Flying will continue, the report says, but shouldn't grow anymore. And you should set your thermostat to 19 degrees in winter, assuming your home is well insulated. There's a glimpse of a low-carbon future in Nottingham. They're drilling to install a new kind of heating for social housing. It draws warmth from the ground. The homes are also fitted with solar panels. In a communal energy centre, there's a battery to store power. There's no need for gas, and monthly bills are far lower.
What was it like before?
Joan Warburton says it's a pleasure to live here.
Well, in the winter it was terrible because, even in the summer, I was sat here with a dressing gown on and socks on and the doors shut. Now you can see the doors are wide open, they're always open. I don't have my dressing gown on now and I don't have my socks on. I've never had socks on for 12 months now, so it's been great.
Last month, protesters demanded action on global warming. What do they think of the new plan?
We're still living in this thing that if I just turn the thermostat down, if I just take one less flight, it's all going to be okay. And I think the truth that Extinction Rebellion are telling everyone is it's not going to be okay. Stop kidding yourself. You will have to make fundamentally different choices.
In any event, major change is likely. Here, a new blade for a wind turbine is tested. It's a staggering 88 metres long. New designs like this mean it is plausible that by 2050, Britain won't add any more to global warming. But the key question is what the government will do, and whether it'll agree to push for a zero-carbon future. David Shukman, BBC News.
And you can find out plenty more information about climate change and today's report on the BBC website, including our new jargon buster, which explains all the key terms.